Welcome, my friends, to the show that never ends until I say it's over. My name is Blaine Donlan, and you are watching Tarnation TV's broadcast of the Shake and Bake series presented by Talladega Nights. For more information on Talladega Nights, check your descriptable below for the information to link you to their website location. You can go there if you want to join this league, if you do play NASCAR Racing 2003 season. You can basically join this league if you know how to race, of course. That's a big... Don't just download the game and come on in here. They are more than welcoming. We will definitely teach you how to do so. Tarnation TV is a website. You can hit it, tarnationtv.com. Simple as that, really. Broadcast and such things as basic, well, I say such things like there's more than one thing, but really it is only one thing. NASCAR Racing 2003 season, because that's the only thing that really matters. This evening's race is race number 2 of 12. 12 race season going on into 2023. Will be the 20th year of this thing, which it's kind of hard to believe. It's been out this long, and this many people still play it at a level that is, it's hard to match, actually. A lot of fun. Meeting all the new people. Coming and going. I got out of this thing for a little while. Then got back into it. And all around, just amazing fun times. I need to boot up the game. I should probably do that. Make sure that we can actually show you guys something here. But, this will be a fun race this evening. After last week's events, there were some movers and some shakers. Some drivers, like Greg Lovell, for instance, in the 088, qualified first on the pole position. Unfortunately, had some connection issues and had to retire, so started in first and had to retire, which put him in 31st. Not fun for him, but he is a seasoned veteran and will most definitely bounce back. On the flip side, qualifying in number 29th, this is the biggest advance of the whole race from race number 1 last week. The number 33 of Bill Evans, also known as Hemi. He qualified in 29th. Ended up finishing the race in 4th position. So Hemi with some mad gains. Definitely a fantastic way to start the season off. Along with many, many other drivers, there was a full field there last week, and we are not far from it again this week. So we got a full roster. That should be good. Of course, the next 2 weeks, because it is the end of December, will be off weeks for Talladega Nights, the Shake and Bake series, and all the points, standings, and everything will be put on hold for the holiday season. So if you celebrate Yule, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and probably a plethora of other ones that I'm not mentioning, whatever you do, do it safe, and we'll see you in the new year. Do I have a screen for that? Yes, I do. Just push that button right there. After the holiday break, as you can see right there, RollingThunderGaming.com. We don't want to look at that. After the holiday break, the season will resume on the 7th of January 2023. At the end of February, as you can see there, that is where it stops. And that is where the chase is set. So then 2 following weeks into March, that will be stage 1, 10 drivers. And the final stage knocks those 10 down to 5 for the championship. Always fun aborting qualifying runs. But anyway, join Tarnation TV again after this broadcast for race number 3. 7th of January 2023, live here Eastern Standard Time at 9 p.m. And as always, more information on Talladega Nights can be found at their website, located in the description below. Music that you heard at the very start of the broadcast. Some people may have been wondering, where'd you get that? Well, I know a guy, and he's really good at stuff, especially music. And just being an all-around great dude. Jonathan Barry created that little lick, and I really liked it. And I asked him, I said, hey man, can I use that in the broadcast? And he said yes. So during the countdown sequence, if you were wondering what that was, check out Jono, BRC, on the Twitter machine and the Instagram machine to follow him. And he posts all his little guitar stuff all the time. It's basically all very, especially the Instagram, very concentrated on the music. Which then, let's be honest, music binds us. It is fantastic. Of course, the launch screen to tell you that the broadcast is about to begin, that is Typo Negative, band out of Brooklyn. The reason I can use that music is because it doesn't actually fall on any specific album. Usually if you use copyrighted music on YouTube, you will get a copyright strike or a copyright claim, depending on who owns it. Typo Negative clearly wrote that song, and it's clearly amazing, but because it's more of a bootleg, I throw it on here for a whole minute or less, just because it is amazing, heavy, and awesome. If you're curious where that song came from, Typo Negative was hired by the WWE back in the late 90s, 2000s to create a theme song for their superstar Kane, Undertaker's brother, and he needed a badass intro. For some gosh darn reason, the WWE did not use that song that you heard at the start of this thing. They didn't use it. They went with a Finger 11 song instead, some generic rock and roll that you hear on the radio. You had one of the heaviest bands create one of the heaviest songs for one of your heaviest characters, and they opted not to use it. So guess what? We're using it on Tarnation TV. Why not, right? That's how we roll. Finding the coolest stuff. As these boys line up. Boys and girls, possibly? I should say boys and girls. We had a couple females last week. Allie and Jessica both came out. I do not see them as of yet in the list of drivers this evening. But either way, the drivers are here and they are qualifying at the moment. Current season standings, as you see on your screen, are as follows. This is basically the official results after last week's run. Ken Robertson first. Rodney Sullins in second. Kelly Cossey in third. Bill Hemi Evans, whom we've already talked about, making it all the way up to fourth place after qualifying 29th in that race. Awesome finish for him. Denny Carroll in fifth. Dan Lovell in sixth. Mark Paglia in seventh. Alex Moe in eighth. Robert Breedlove, also known as DEI, finishes in ninth place. And Seth Cole from the Flat Out Racing Network, fellow broadcaster there. Seth is the cream of the crop, if I do say so myself. So check out his stuff on FRN. Drivers highlighted in green qualify for race number 10. No, sorry, race number 11. And then that will definitely become shorter after race number 11 as it gets crunched down to 5. Qualifying here is almost complete. As we get ready to go green flag racing in approximately 8 or 9 minutes. Shortly after qualifying, we will speak with the pole sitter. We got some people waiting in a room. Let's see what they got. Jeffrey, what's happening? Mark, what's happening? Hey, man. Hey, Jeffrey, don't use your whisper button. There you go. Otherwise, Mark won't be able to hear you. Awesome. Well, I'll do my thing. I'll do whatever I want. I'll run this. Mark. Mark, how you doing, man? Nice to... Congratulations on the pole position. Yeah, that's how it works, I guess. Like after last week's run, you had a pretty consistent run, qualified 6th, ended 7th, so you stayed right up in the top 10 like all day pretty much. And now you qualify in first place. So what's the strategy? Do you like falling back in the pack and following, or you like to pull everybody along?
My best to stay in front. You know, it's going to be tough, but I think being up front's where you're most safest, staying out of wreck. It's not a guarantee you won't get wrecked, but being up front, usually, you know, you're kind of with the better drivers. You know, everybody here is good at, but you know, when you're up front with all the top qualifiers, they all mind their P's and Q's. It's back in the pack where you start taking chances and getting anxious and trying to, you know, push a little bit more and do some moves that maybe you shouldn't have.
Right, like more so, especially when it comes to racing the back, and depending on the size of the field, you don't want to get caught in a big wreck. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. Either starting right up front or starting in the low line is probably the best way to go to avoid. Then you start working the high lines to start, because that's the faster in the line is the high line. But staying down low, you have a little bit more room to avoid an accident. When you're up against the wall high line, you don't have much room to play.
That's the thing. That's the way I like racing it as well. I love the high line, but when an accident's going to happen, it's coming up, and you've got nowhere to go. Unless you get really lucky and it happens coming out of like turn 2 onto the backstretch, and you've got, 100 yards of tarmac to your left, you can actually drive around it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Plus, if you're a little bit further back and it happens up top, you got some time for all the cars to kind of roll down to the bottom lane after they get in a wreck. So, again, I'm just going to try to stay up front if I can, but I know there's going to be, guys that are going to start piling up and going onto the outside of me, or, try to get underneath me one way or another. But just start to, be a clean racer, and hopefully if you give people respect, they'll give you respect back.
Yeah. Do you have any friends out there you like to hook up with, like the fellow RTG guys?
Yeah, there's a few guys there, but some of them I think are racing in another Christmas race that Seth is putting on tonight. But yeah, I like to hook up with Greg. I know him pretty well, and a few others out there. Bob Dixon, he races RTG on Thursdays with us. So there's a few of those guys I'd like to hook up with.
Right on. Looks like we're about less than 30 seconds away from the race. So I, again, say congratulations on grabbing the pole, and have an excellent race and good luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks for all you do.
Right on, man. Thank you.
Blaine, yes, darling, I just want to say good luck up in the booth, buddy. And we are here to put on a good show. Hopefully we can do that. And thanks, Mark, for coming down here for this interview. And I'm going to move us both back up. And good luck, Blaine.
Right on. We'll try our best. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. Mark Pack. I guess it would be nice if I turned Mark's mic on for the first about 20 seconds of that interview, but I finally figured out my mistake, so I got to hear what he said. Nobody else did, though. Joke's on you guys. Getting ready to go green here. Happy hour is almost done. What is happy hour, you ask? Well, it's a 5-minute practice session. Drivers will usually just start practicing their pit stops. That is where you find where your official pit stall is for the entirety of the race. I said, looks like we've got a pretty awesome field here. As you can see, I'll show you the qualifying standings. Paglia breed level beyond the right. Nate, level. Palmer, Dixon, Carroll, Heiser, level again. That's Dan level. Larry Wyndham, Randy Waugh, Billy Ellisar. Brian level. Craig Hagley. Bill Hemi Evans. Keith Bynum, Bobby Farrell, Chris Elliott, Stephen Brandsetter. Looks like Alex, Pat, Randy, Jeff, Tom, and Gary opted not to qualify. But that's totally fine. Some guys just like to opt out of qualifying. Maybe go grab a drink. Do whatever they got to do. Oh, it looks like they re-racked them. Oh, they're getting ready to go green here. I basically got to retire my car and get ready to roll here. Race number 2 of the Shake and Bake series for the points. Obviously, you don't need to finish. You don't need to finish first in every single race. You just need to be consistent. This is a long series. The first 10 count for points. That'll make you qualify for the playoff round at the end. So it should be an exciting first 10 races, which will lead to an even more exciting final 2, deemed the chase for the Shake and Bake Cup, or whatever they're calling it. There's prizes. Last season's winner was Greg Lovell. He got a gift card and some merchandise mailed directly to him from the league owner, Jeffrey Elliott. Nice little care package there. So if you do show up and you are consistent, it definitely pays off. Here we are on the pace lap in the cockpit of the number 20, Randy Claflin. Long way around this track. We talk about it every single week. 2.66 miles in length. Pit strategy is still the same as it always was. Ends up being approximately 18 to 20 laps is where we will see pit strategies coming into play. Doesn't it always figure that I'm going to have video game issues at the start of a race as your broadcaster keeps falling out of the race? That funny thing is, too, I was going to start talking about how I tweaked the broadcast from last week because we were having some issues with frame rate drops and stuttering. I found out why and fixed those issues. 100% my fault. I was stacking the broadcast with way too many things. And what happened there was I fixed it. And of course now I jump in and the game doesn't want to stay running. It's crashed on me twice already, so we got gremlins in the system again. But then again, I probably caused that issue by having to retire twice. I find that happens if they have to re-rack the grid. The second time I try to retire, I click that retire button. I'm just like, oh, is it gonna crash? And then you're like, no, it didn't crash. Oh, cool. And then it crashed. Everything will be all right. Basically how this works is if the game does crash and I have to come back in like this, the only thing that will be affected is you will not be able to see the pit boxes on pit road. But we are up to speed now, and we are live, finally, here at lap number 2. So we only missed one lap, and we are under green flag conditions. And yes, I do have a ticker. And yes, I do have flag conditions. And yes, we do have information. That won't work properly. Currently on the Mountain Dew car, the number 56. Jeffrey Elliott. League owner, and right behind him in the 12, Gary Mingus. Fabulous car here. We actually have some information on that car. We're going to see if we could talk to Gary a little later. Jeffrey works at a Chevrolet dealer of some kind. I don't know 100% of the details. These cars come and go. They transfer them around the country. They see all these special edition cars and whatnot. So this thing rolled in. Chevy Camaro, brand new one, custom paint job on it for Dale Earnhardt Sr., the late, great Dale Earnhardt Sr. Of course, that car had number 3 on it. Gary Mingus immaculately recreated that thing. Right there is what you're looking at. Of course, changed the number to number 12 because Gary runs number 12. And he did a very, very good job. So we will definitely talk to Gary a little later on in the broadcast. Right now, at the front of the pack, Palmer takes over the lead, followed by Denny Carroll. Mark Pagula falling back to, where has Mark gone? Mark, where are you, bud? Oh, we're looking for Mark, the pole sitter. Where did he go? Mark Pagula, there he is. Scoring currently showing him in the 3rd position. Looks more like he's sitting back in about 9th, so he's settled back into the pack. At the stripe, puts him in 8th, so he's still racing in the top 10. Drivers still trying to find their lines, getting their tires warmed up and all that good stuff. Tires is never really an issue at Talladega, the way that this track is set up. Fuel mileage definitely is. Like I said, our fuel window will be somewhere around 18 laps. It's usually within about 3 laps or so, depending on strategies of the drivers. Of course, yellow flag conditions change the strategy pretty quick. We've got Robert Breedlove in the 931, staying kind of in the middle to high line with Paglia and Nate behind him. Randy Waugh is there also. The number 7 in the STP car, Bobby Farrell, up to 4th. I was seeing that happening. He's going to want to go low. If the 510 of Branstetter wants to push him, he's definitely going to need to get a run on him first to try that move. They might just be content just running in line right now because they're so early in the race. Some guys don't want to get too racy. 2 wide racing, 3 wide racing, 4 is possible and a whole lot of fun, but my goodness. I've been in 4 wide situations on this track with these drivers before, and they are by far, you don't breathe much. You really have to concentrate on hitting your marks. So let's run down. We got Greg Palmer in first. Driving the number 22 Dixon Cider car. Yes, he's driving the cider company known as Dixon's. So, Dixon Cider. Behind him, the number 41 of Denny Carroll. Well, that's a cool looking paint job. Now we're going to start looking at guys' paint jobs again. Ah, yes, the Ode to the Soldiers. Oh, he's got the bullet rack around the bottom of the car and everything. That's really cool. Dan Level in the 388. Number 7 of Bobby Farrell. 510. Stephen Branstetter. On the outside line, Chris Elliott. On the inside line, Brian J. Level in the 043. Mark Paglia back there, still hitting the top 10. The 079 of Nick Balser. Behind him, Randy Waugh. Robert Breedlove. Keith Bynum. Bobby Dixon with the factoids at the end of the race. Stick around after the race is done. If you are a driver in the driver meeting, Bob Dixon will run down the factoids, which basically consists of fastest driver, most led laps, and other such thing that Bob collects. Wow. Let's do some English. Other such things that Bob collects during the race. He will talk about it in the factoids. Gary Heiser in the number 3 Goodwrench car, of course. A big Dale Earnhardt fan there, clearly. Bill Hemi Evans, like we were talking in the pre-race, big mover last week with a 29th qualifying start to finish 4th. Billy Elliser in the 26, the Flintstones Challenger. Billy had a pretty good race last week too. Finishing in the 24th spot on the lead lap. No issues there. I believe he even led a lap too, so we got the bonus points as well. Just checking my stats. He did last week. Got the bonus points for leading a lap. There's Keith again. There's Craig Hagley in the number 82 car. That's a new name this week. Was not here last week. Randy Claflin in the 20. Larry Windham in the 09. There's Tommy Dixon in the Batman car, number 45. I'm going to look at the back of the car and see if he's got Marvel. Come on, Tommy. Yes, he does. He's driving the Marvel Batman car. Yes. Alex Moe. And the Wounded Warrior Project car driven by Pat McCarsky in the 0. Hanging out in behind, looking off his roof right now. We're seeing that he is still clearly in the draft, so he will have no issues keeping up with these guys. I've raced with Pat a lot. He definitely, such as myself too, I do like to sit in the back at the start of the race and kind of see what the pit strategies are going to do. I usually don't pit first time around. Big slide up to the wall there by Claflin. So we've gone through the field, and now we witness the field. Racing around Talladega, virtual Talladega Super Speedway here. As we follow Bob Dixon into the tri-oval. Coming here to start in lap number 13. Currently the fastest lap of the day. Tom Dixon, 200.0 miles per hour. 200 even. 47.8 seconds on that fastest lap. And that is an average lap speed. That's not the 200 miles an hour is not the speed at the line. 200 miles an hour is an average speed around. Currently laps led, won by Mark Paglia. Currently scored at the 10th position last time around. Denny Carroll has also led 1 lap, and Greg Palmer has led 10 laps in the 22 Dixon Cider car. Definitely familiar territory up there for Greg. With Greg, Denny, Lovell, Farrell, and Brandstetter at the front 5. We are flirting with pit stops. Field got a little bit bunched up there. You saw Mark squeak it out to the side just to kind of give some breathing room there to kind of eliminate that domino wave that'll just go through the domino effect that'll just travel through the whole entire field. If guys get too close in the turns, it can turn gnarly pretty quick. If you don't know how to take it. That of course is entirely up to the drivers. Some of these guys like being pushed. Other guys do not. You are able to push in the turns, but it really does depend on the controller's setup of the drivers. If you're able to hold on to it or not. There is a lot of options in the game to adjust controller sensitivities and linearities and There's a couple other sliders that if you do get bumped in the corner and they're set super sensitive, the car will get squirrely and it's really hard to catch it. So with high speed, close, tight racing like on Talladega and Daytona and other fictional super speedways such as the Coca-Cola track that was launched with the game, and then Armory Digital has one, and the Hogs tracks, like all those crazy high speed tracks. Any little movement in the wheel can definitely do a lot. No restrictor plates are used here today. These cars are running the truck physics. So no restrictor plates, 200 mile an hour average speeds, and way better drafting. It would be fun to use the Cup car physics. Oh, Brandstetter getting left out to dry. Everybody moving to that bottom line because we are lining up for pit stops here, coming around to lap number 17. So that looks like a bad thing, but it's not going to be a bad thing. There is still some cars in that middle to high line here. You can see the number 9 Doritos car of Chris Elliott, League Administration Office, and driver. Gonna pick up the 510 of Brandstetter. We're gonna go in the cockpit of Billy Elliser here and see if he pits with these guys. We might be going one more round. We are going one more time. We're definitely going to check that out. It's very cool to be in the car and watch the driver's view. You get to see them gear down, probably lock up the brakes, hopefully not crash. That's not cool, but you know, stuff happens. Every single driver on this track right now, every car you see is piloted by an actual human being, so there's no artificial intelligence involved here, except for me. Except for me. Except for me. There is no except for me. Excuse me. And the pace car, of course. Pace car is artificial intelligence. They're still going to go? Yeah, they're definitely probably going to come down. There's some cars peeling off in the back. We're going to stay with this lead pack here. We'll switch back to cockpit view. Pat McCarskey, you see there, pitting early. Tom Dixon in the Batman car, pitting early. Rejoining the field. Bob Dixon, the Dixon brothers. All right, here we go. Cockpit view on Billy Elliser as we're probably heading down to the pits because we are coming around to lap number 20, and that's pushing it on fuel mileage. You could probably get one more out of it if you really had to, but I don't know. Here we go. Couple cars in the rearview mirror. We got a car around. The yellow flag is out. I'm not sure if Billy's going to pit. Like, he's on pit road, but if he stops for service, these cars might get a black flag. So all of these cars may just drive right out the other side. That was very close. The 3 cars in front you saw just drove straight out. This may be a black flag for Billy because I was watching the fence line off to the right when he was coming in the pits when I saw that car go around behind him. The yellow lights started flashing before he hit that commitment line, so you are allowed to drive through the pits, but you are not allowed to take service if the red flag came out. So let's actually rewind that and we'll be able to see the flag man at the back of pit road there. If he actually pulled out that red flag and the pits were closed, getting service will penalize these drivers. So on the top of your screen, I'll see, can you see my mouse? Let's see. Yes, you can see my mouse right here by the black car. I will point to the flag man. Got it in super slow motion right now. The flag man is right here. If he pulls out that red flag before these guys hit this line, they will get black flag penalties. That car right there of Claflin goes around. Ooh, this might actually be pretty close. I want to get that car near the wall. There we go. All right, flag guy, what are you going to do, bud? We were in the 26 of Billy Elliser, who's right here. The flag man is moving. He's pulling out the red flag. Oh, that's going to be probably black flag penalties for the 48, the 9, and the 26. That's what I'm thinking. That signifies that the pits were closed. So I believe that Palmer and Farrell probably would have been all right to pit because they were on pit road before the red flag closed the pits. But they opted to just play it safe and drive right out of there. Let's see if I can get a hold of Jeff. Jeffrey Elliott, league owner. Do you got me?
Inform me.
See if you can send me. Who'd you want to send me? Who's number one on your list?
I'm not Billy Elliser.
Do it. We're going to get Billy Elliser. Good call, too, because I'm curious if you got a black flag on this. So we will talk to Billy. Let's find Billy out here, number 26. Basically, Jeffrey has to run. He has to drive his car, and he has a second computer sitting next to him so he can run the TeamSpeak channel, so he can send drivers to me in the booth here to get a do some chit-chatting. Once he sends them down here, we'll be able to talk to Billy about that and see if he actually got a black flag. Billy Elliser, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, bud. How you?
Oh, not too bad. Curious what happened there. You pit, as you were pitting, accident, single car, a couple cars behind you went around, pulling out the yellow, and we were looking at it on the instant replay in super crazy slow motion. The flag man pulled out the red flag to close those pits. Did you get a black flag?
End of the longest line.
End of the longest line. Okay, so it was a penalty, but not too crazy if it's end of the longest line.
There you go.
But yeah, right on.
It's all good.
So how's things looking out there? Is it a little dicey? Everybody seems to be taking it pretty easy so far.
Just taking it easy right now.
Yeah, right on. So was your pit schedule? Were you must have been running pretty low on fuel? You guys were coming up to lap number 20 before you started to peel down there.
I still had another lap.
Oh, did you really?
Did you do clutch? Was good.
Oh, right on. Were you clutching at all, or just got caught in the right draft? I guess.
Probably the right draft. No clutching.
Right on, man. Yeah, I tend not to clutch on Talladega. Guys tell me that they do it, and I didn't even know how they do it. I would just be scared to do
tough.
it.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, I'm just afraid of getting run over. But anyway, man, the car looks good. The Flintstones 26.
There you go.
All right, I'll get Jeff to throw you back up there. Oh, Jeff, you're in here too. Hey, buddy.
Very good, man. Good to you.
Hello. Yep. Good. Good to see you again, Blaine. It's a little dicey out here. I just got caught losing the draft, but we're back in it. So here we go.
Nice. It should be fun. So far, so good. Yeah, it's a very exciting race, guys. So definitely keep up the good work. Some of these guys are peeling off to do a top up. So we'll let you guys get back at it because we're probably coming around to a green flag.
To your point, buddy. Thanks a lot, Blaine.
Right on. Good luck, Jeff, and good luck, Billy. Thanks. Bailey Elliser in the 26. Jeffrey Elliott in the 56. Gary Mingus in that cool looking replica. We'll definitely talk to him later. If not during the race, tend to only really want to talk to drivers under yellow flag conditions. So we don't really want to talk to the drivers because we don't want yellow flag conditions. Coming around to lap number 24 of 47. We'll definitely get a hold of Gary post-race if we cannot get to him during. Current standings are as follows. You guys can see what I can see here. Looks like Greg Lavelle has retired with a wheel problem. That is not fun. That is two retired. He retired last week with connection issues, probably caused by local weather, because we all love that stuff. The wind blows the wrong way and disrupts the river and the wagon wheel and the water wheel and all the windmills and everything else. But so Claflin is out after that accident. And Greg has also retired the 088 with wheel issues. So I don't know if he possibly drove over something. Debris technically isn't an issue in this game, but it does have randomized things that can happen. And debris is one of them. So if he had a wheel problem, I'm assuming he drove into something. As we get ready to go green, Tom Dixon on the outside. Pat McCarskey on the inside. Green flag in the air. Pat gets a big shove from Keith Bynum. That forces Hemi to go down and claim that low line. So we're right off the 3 wide. Right off the hop. Greg Palmer claiming that low line. Definitely going to try to find his buddies. You will notice after watching these races week in, week out, drivers definitely have friends. Guys they like to run with, guys they know can take a push or do the push, and you want to hook up with those people because you're very familiar with their style of racing. Sometimes when you're a new guy, especially me joining up with these guys, you really don't get a lot of help for the first little while because people don't really know how you drive. Like Blaine Donlin, we've never heard of this guy before. Who's he? Like, oh, he knows how to drive. Like that's fine. But do you know how to work with people? Some door banging going on, and that will cause an issue. Upside down Hemi, and we have an absolute catastrophe, calamity ensuing back here. Unfortunately, Pat has taken a lot of damage to the front of that 0 car. Hemi got up on 2 wheels. It looked like he was going to roll. Yellow flag is out. We will rewind that and get you a replay. Looked like some door banging going on the top line there, and that it's hard to save that when you're doing 197 mile an hour. So here comes currently Paglia in the center and Bakarski in the black 0 car. Getting a good push from Farrell. And the game has crashed again. Wow, we're having good luck this week. Very unfortunate. Sometimes the servers, depending on where the servers are located, that could be part of the issue. Not sure why. We use a software called the RLM Arena. It's a sim racing program that was created years ago, and it just makes it a lot easier for everybody to join these races, and it prevents people from cheating as well. It's got some cheat stuff built into it, and it really logs a lot of information for administrators. Give everybody information like that. The arena, it's stable. I mean, they upgraded the arena last year, so there was about a month in there where they had some instability. But when you migrate all your servers, it's obviously going to be a problem. But they got her working, and it's better than it ever was. So this could be an issue on my part. I've never had the thing crash 3 times in a night, but there is a first time for everything. As we get it loaded back up, I will not be able to rewind to give you the replay of that accident, because now it no longer exists. Okay, we are back in business. My scoring is currently showing Mark Paglia in the 28 at last time around at the stripe, back in first place position. Our pole sitter and first interview of the day, he peels off down to pit road, or maybe not. It might be a fake job. I guess we're going to see what happens. The commitment line is that solid yellow line, so he is committed. You could change your mind and come back out. But if you do it after that solid yellow line, you're going to get a penalty. And it's probably going to be end of the longest line penalty. Currently on lap number 27. Reboot my tickers, and we get all our information back. So there we go. As things happen in the NASCAR 2003 simulator, I learn different ways to run the broadcast to cover up some of these little glitches. For instance, lap number 28 of -1, when the game crashes, it doesn't give you the output. So I cover it up with 47. Put a button on that one. Had that happen a few weeks ago. Never had it happen before. I was like, oh, my ticker's all messed up. People don't like that. Jeffrey Elliott, you got me?
Yes, sir, Mr. Blaine.
Send somebody down here. Who you need? Bob Dixon?
Actually, it's going green right now. It'd be kind of hard to do that right now.
Okay, I'll talk to you then. This is fine. Yeah, I got, the game has actually crashed on me 3 times. So yeah, that's why I've been late responding to you with the requests for interviews. So
I think we'll make it work. Weather out there, but so far the 56 Chevrolet Camaro out here, Mr. Mountain Dew, is it's been pretty good race. I mean, green flag, So just gotta get these guys lined up and get going again.
Yeah, that pace car is probably going to leave. Oh, there he goes. Wonder if he needs fuel. Maybe he's got to get some gas too.
And we're getting ready to rock.
All right, Jeff. Have a good race. Good luck.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
We will ride around with Jeff in the cockpit for a little while and watch him gear up. Watch that shifter on the bottom right. See if he misses one. Big run up the inside here. Is he gonna pick up Randy or drive by him? He's gonna push him. As you can see the top right there, Jeff has Gary Mingus in his rearview mirror, but he abandons him and drives in front of his brother Chris Elliott, league administrator. There's a lot of family links going on this in this league. We have the Dixons, Bob and Tom. We have the Elliots, Chris and Jeff. And the Lovell family. I believe there's cousins and brothers involved in that one too. There's 3 of them. And everybody comes out on Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights to race. Talladega nights. There's a weekend league. Well, other than the Friday night race, but they operate on Saturdays and Sundays. There's a lot of practice. And then they have the Back to the Future series on the Mondays. The Back to the Future series is the original stock cars that came with this game back in 2003 with the original stock tracks. Only thing that's basically modified would obviously be the car paint. All these cool looking cars. And the setups. They do tweak the setups a little bit in the Back to the Future series on Monday to obviously, make the cars a little bit tighter. And they do not race at Talladega. Kansas, California, Michigan, they race at the big 2-mile tracks. A lot of fun Monday nights. Friday nights, the Fast and Furious Truck Series presented by Talladega Nights as well. We were watching a replay of that at the beginning of this broadcast as the countdown to broadcast time. That was a race replay of yesterday's race. No big deal, about 30 Craftsman trucks. Actually, it's the Camping World Series 2015 mod. And they were just running, in that race, much like you see right now, 3 wide, lap after lap after lap. A lot of fun on Friday night as well. You are watching right now, though, the Shake and Bake Series. This mod is the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series 2019 mod with the Craftsman truck physics. I don't even remember what the cup car physics feels like on Talladega. Everybody uses the truck physics. Every mod that gets released for this game usually has all 3, 4. We have yellow flag conditions. As we come to a halt on the back straightaway, halt was probably the wrong word. They will slow down to approximately pace speed, which is 70 mile per hour. Pit speed is 55 mile per hour. And of course, your average speed is like up near 200. So 55 mile an hour pit speed seems extremely difficult. Let's rewind this and see when yellow came out. Get you guys a replay of what happened. As I'm sitting there talking about all the different races that Talladega Nights has. We had an accident. And it looks like it involves Larry Windham in the 09 and Mark Paglia as well. We'll get you helicopter view of this one. Got it in slow motion here. Yeah. Oh no, Mark. Hard into the wall, and Dixon is up in the air. Wow, is that, holy moly. We are going to be looking at this one. Wow. Who is that? Oh no, that's Billy Elliser, the Tarnation TV jinx. We talk to people, they crash. Don't talk to me. That's what's going to happen to you if you talk to me. Look, hey, we want an interview we want to get an interview with the 26 car of Billy Elliser. That way later on when he crashes, we can ride in the cockpit and watch. Landed on its wheels, it'll be all right. There's billowing black smoke coming out of the motor. That's no big deal. That'll buff out. Oh, maybe not. I do believe the engine is completely gone. That is very unfortunate for Billy Elliser. Oh man, the Dodge Challenger. Oh. You hate to see that. You really do hate to see it. These guys put a lot of hours into this game, but sometimes you get these accidents that are just wild. I mean, they're 3 wide, so everybody runs out of space. He's about 150 feet in the air, landed right on top of Palmer. Holy moly. Gosh. Goodness gracious me. Golly gee willikers. Let's back that up. Okay, so now I want to see a view from Palmer's car, because he's about to get the Dixon Cider right now. All right. So let me see. What view do we want? Okay, maybe we'll take this view. Wow. Greg could not even fathom having to dodge that car. Holy moly. Hey, Jeffrey, if you can send me anybody you want. I don't know if you want to send me Palmer. Car fell out of the sky and ended his day.
Greg Palmer is gone for the race. Let's see if it goes green here. Hang on. Let's get more yellow here.
Yeah, 10-4 on Palmer. Yeah, he quit pretty quick. I was following his point of view there. So, Bob Farrell, perfect.
Hello, Blaine. We have Bobby Farrell in the booth.
Hey, Mr. Farrell, number 7. How you doing, man?
I am good, Blaine. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. I'm having a whale of a time watching you guys drive these things. How's the car after that?
Car's pretty good. I missed that one. I got involved in the caution before. I got a little bit of damage,
yeah.
But car seemed to be okay, so we're going to give them hell and see what we can get.
Yeah, that's what I was curious. When the cars get banged up, spun around, sometimes you can drive out of it with nothing happening. And we were just watching that last wreck from Greg Palmer's view. And a car fell out of the sky and landed on his roof and ended his day. So fortunately, you weren't over there to witness that.
No, I was lucky enough to miss that one. That one looked like it started just to my inside there, but I was high enough up where everything pretty much happened in my mirror. So missed that one. So we still got 13 to go here, and hopefully we don't have another one, or if we do, I can miss that one and stay up here near the front, maybe gain a couple more spots.
Yeah, like you were saying too, the best place to be at Talladega is to watch the wrecks in the mirror as you drive away from them.
That is my favorite place to be when they're wrecking.
So obviously you're all gassed up, got lots of tires on that thing, no hammers involved on the previous damage, so you're good to go to the end of this.
Yep, we're going to the end, and let's see what happens here.
Right on. Hey, Jeffrey, you still got me?
I do. That was a great interview, Mr. Farrell.
Don't use your whisper. Bobby can't hear you if you use your whisper.
10-4. I just got a lot going on. Hey, Bob, thanks for the interview. And Blaine, great. I'm moving back up there. And next person we'll get down here will be Gary Mingus for that special paint job.
Right on. All right, Bobby, you're in scoring you in 4th right now, so good luck.
Thanks, Blaine.
And Jeffrey will be 2nd place. So yeah, both of them are running up in that top 5 positions right now. Gary Mingus in that 12. We have a whole different view of the front of the pack now with drivers like, let's see here. We can show you the standings here. You can see what I'm seeing. Unfortunately, Randy Claflin was retired. Pat McCarskey had issue with the wheels. Greg Palmer has retired after the cars were falling out of the clouds. Billy Alliser was that car that fell out of the clouds onto Palmer, also retired, and Mark Paglia had to retire as well because of an accident. So, and Bob Dixon is currently 2 laps down. He should get Lucky Dog. Lucky Dog, for those of you who don't know, if you are a lap down under yellow flag conditions, you will be allowed to drive around once. If you are the first car a lap down. So I believe this league runs the first 2, actually. So if there was multiple cars laps off the pace, only the first 2 we get to drive around, get 1 lap back. So Bob, next time by, pace car is off. We are going green. Now that we are under 10 to go, we are at 9 to go now. If a yellow flag should come out before this race is over, the field will not be frozen until the drivers take the yellow flag at the stripe. Big push there from Mingus on Elliott. We watched Brian Lovell slide up to that top line there in front of Keith Bynum, tucked himself in behind Bobby. So we got the Farrells and the Lovels and the Elliots, and everybody's running up front here. Brandstetter and Heiss are down the bottom of your screen doing an erratic maneuver to the inside line. There's Tom Dixon in the 45. Everybody out here right now with that last yellow flag and the pit stops that happened during it. Definitely 100% will be able to go the full distance to the end of this thing. And here we are. We are at lap number 37. Like I was saying, 10 to go right now. So now that we are within the 10 to go, yellow flag, if a yellow flag should fly, drivers will not lift. They will race back to the line. Slight issues can arise if the yellow comes out as they're going over the line, because some of the cars will be in front of the line and some of them will be taking the yellow, so it kind of messes up the pack sometimes, but they usually can get it all figured out. The administrators have different commands they can run to fix all the issues. 3 wide racing here, everybody. 9 to go. Give you guys a full screen of this action. It would appear on the broadcast screen that there seems to be a color palette issue. Bobby's car is yellow for some reason. But that doesn't really matter. At least we can still see it. Really close quarters down there trying to get this middle line sorted out. Nobody, oh my goodness, that was really good save there by the 388 of Dan Lovell. Holy moly. That thing skated right up the track and you just about bashed the wall with the right side of the car. Not the time to do that, but when you're running in 3 wide position like that, depending on, especially in Tom's situation currently, we're just focused on him because we can see the entire pack. Third lines are starting, and which also third lines are starting in different spots in the pack can cause a fourth line, and pack goes around. That'll be raced back to the line, but I am not 100% sure. They seem to be lifting out of it. Oh no! Not supposed to be lifted until the back straight, boys. Oh, wow. I just, okay, that gave me a heart attack. Okay, so the pace car is invisible, as you can see. This may be interesting. See, because those cars were in front of the yellow, they were in front of the stripe, as I was saying before. We can get into some issues. So it's raced back to the line. So last lap, the yellow came out after they crossed. So you have to race all the way back around. And there was some confusion with the drivers that were probably half of that pack got caught by the yellow and half the front pack didn't. And then that's when you race all the way around. And then we have a situation in what they call a wave around. If you take the wave around, because of when the pace car comes into play, that's just a free pass to come all the way back around to the end. Now they're basically going to have to park it back here and find this pace car. So where is the pace car? He is way back there. So we will take this time now to rewind and watch that from multiple angles. Hey, Jeffrey, if you got me, you can send me Gary if you like. I'm going to talk to Gary Mingus here if we can get him. And talk about that really, really cool paint job that he's got. On his car, the number 12, replicating that Earnhardt. So here's a replay of the wreck. Now we've got pack got turned. This occurred here. Roof flaps deploy on the 9 to keep him on the track. So the yellow comes out and catches half of that pack. So that front pack's allowed to race all the way back around, where the people that were from this camera angle will actually be able to see it. Oh, actually, no, you know what? It looks like the yellow came out. Interesting. I'm not 100% sure what happened there then. Everything happened so fast here at Talladega with the 200-mile-an-hour speed limit. And they start wrecking again because I think some guys thought that they took the yellow and some guys thought that they didn't. Gary, you got me.
10-4. Hey, Blaine, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, not bad, man. So Jeffrey was showing me you replicated this rig here that he had. He was working last week and he got pictures. I'm showing them on screen right now of this car, this tribute to Dale Earnhardt Sr., the late, great Dale Earnhardt Sr. And you were able to replicate this thing and put it in the game, and it looks phenomenal.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was, as soon as I saw the pictures that Jeff sent and put out, I said, wow, man, there were so many people that wanted that car. So I just took a couple hours today and sat down and started replicating it, and it came out pretty good.
Yeah, it looks great. Like it. The only thing I mean, obviously it's a number 12 and not a number 3. Otherwise, he would have had to make that car and give it to Gary. But how long does it take? Because usually when I'm painting a car, sometimes I'm just a perfectionist, and it can take me 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, it took me a couple hours because it's got 4 different car schemes of Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Right, because I recognize obviously the black Goodwrench and the Wrangler with the blue and the yellow. And then, what are the other ones?
There's a silver one that's got the right rear, or gray if you want to call it that, and that's one of Dale Earnhardt's. He did a completely silver car.
Oh, yeah.
And then he also had a red, and that was to go along with the American flag that's on the left-hand side of the car.
Okay, see, I don't recognize that one. I do recall the silver. Was the silver one a Goodwrench sponsor as well?
Yes, it was.
Right, okay. So he's got the Wrangler with the blue and white, or the blue and yellow, the silver and the black both being the Goodwrench. And then was the burgundy red one, was that like a special edition he ran, or did he run that for a season?
Yes, it was a special. It was a special race that he ran that in, and that American flag on the side was added to it.
Right. Okay, so here's a question. My game's crashed a couple times during the broadcast, and one of those cool little glitches that occurs with that is the pit on pit road. I can't, after the game crashes and I reload it, I can't see the pit crews. Did you create a custom pit crew for that as well, or did you just pick like a standard one?
No, actually, I just took one that I had University of Alabama pit crew and attached it to it. This was just not something that I planned to run all season, but I did want to run it. Jeff wanted me to run it for this race.
Yeah, no, that's definitely cool. The
Going great.
yeah, big fan of that thing.
I will do a paint scheme similar to it for a pit crew and add it later on, but since we're not racing again until after the holidays for a couple of weeks, I've got plenty of time to do that.
Right on. Yeah, me too. That's probably what I'll be doing. Anyway, man, thanks for talking to us up here in the tower. And I guess Jeffrey, if you're still there, you can say some things if you need to, or you guys can go back on the track.
We're about to go green again, so we need to get back on. We got a couple to go, Gary. So let's go do this bad boy. And good luck down there, Gary. And thanks, Blaine. We'll be back after the race.
I'll be here. Thanks, guys. Good luck.
All right. Thank you, man.
There is Gary Mingus in the number 12. Yeah, I saw the different schemes, but I forgot about the silver one. Dale Earnhardt Sr. did run the silver. Totally forgot about that. It's very cool. And Jeff doing a lot of different things. Where did Alex end up? Because he was turned around in that. He's in the back here being scored in 12th. So it looks like he may have, he got turned, causing that last, involved in the yellow there. But it appears any damage that was there may have been fixed. And even if there is a little bit of damage, he has cars behind him to help him get up to speed, which is always a bonus. You can definitely latch on to guys and push them. And like I said before, with that Craftsman Truck Series physics in place, the draft is a little bit bigger. Couple cars around in the back that might not bring out a yellow. Yes, it did bring out a yellow. But this is a race back situation. It looked like Larry Windham. Anyway, we'll watch this. We're going to go 3 wide. Coming around. This is for the win. This will end the race. So right now we are going to watch this unfold. There's room being given. We are 3 wide, possibly even 4 wide coming into the trial over here. Like I said, this will end the race. And they are getting dicey. But it's going to be a good finish. Wow, Jeff was leading this race, and now it's a 3 wide to the stripe. This is close. Too close to call. We're going to have to go back and look at it. I think it was Robert Breedlove at the last second, the 931 coming out of nowhere. Well, not nowhere. He was behind Jeff. Jeff was leading that race. And Robert comes around. Where'd he go? There he is. All right, let's load up a replay. That will finalize the race. Yes, I know there's still some laps left, but with only 2 to go, that's pretty much going to be it. Let's maybe get helicopter view on this one. Put it in slow-mo. So Jeffrey in the middle there, the white car in the center, was leading that race into the tri-oval. Pack on the bottom, making it 4 wide to the stripe. Breedlove being pushed by the 63 of Bynum. And I believe Bobby got third. Yes, he did. Bobby got third by about 4/100ths of a second. Unbelievable finish. Very, very cool. You never know what's going to happen at Talladega. And that was the right move by Robert. Right out of turn number 4 into the tri-oval, he swings to the wall. And the 63 goes with him and helps him win by a nose. That's how fast it can happen. At the line, 195 miles an hour. 1, 2, 3 finish right there. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. The 63, I think, of Bynum ended up in 4th position, even though he was stuck to the bumper of the first place car. So that just shows you how fast this track is, how competitive it is. and just, being latched on. That's weird why all my yellows turn black. I don't know what's happening on the broadcast, but it's weird anyway. But being stuck to the bumper of the leader and finishing in 4th, as Jeffrey Elliott was a wheel away and Farrell beside Elliott a wheel away again. An amazing, amazing finish. But let's see if we can get a hold of it. Hey, Jeffrey, you got me or are you busy? Yeah, it sounds like he's probably busy if he's not getting back to me right now, but that'll be your winner right there. Congratulations to the number 931 of DEI, Robert Breedlove. Winner of race number 2. Led 8 laps. He will lead 9 laps, of course. He's coming to the most important lap that you want to lead. Which would be the last one. Just in case you're wondering. The most important lap. You really only need to lead 1 lap. And there's the checkered flag. For Robert Breedlove, congratulations. You're your race winner. The Shake It Bake Series season number 2. Race number 2 presented by Talladega Nights and Tarnation TV. So he's going to go for a victory lap. As we watch Robert Breedlove drive all the way around here, your current unofficial, as I say, unofficial standings right now will cycle across the top of your screen now that the final lap has been completed. Unfortunately, I have a lot of issues in the back of the pack. Gary Heiser had to retire. Brian Lovell had to retire. Engine gearbox issues for Tom Dixon in the 45. He had to retire. Another car that retired, his brother Bob Dixon. Mark was in an accident, so was Billy. Greg Palmer, Pat Makarsky, and Randy Claflin. And we have silence. Oh, there it is. Okay. I can't even find a camera angle where I can see the car as he burns this thing out. I have a feeling those rear tires won't last long. If we see them pop, the car will actually start dragging on the ground, which would be pretty funny. Oh, he's not going to do it. Congratulations to the 931. As I save this replay to give you guys something to watch, we will definitely be talking to Bobby Farrell, Jeffrey Elliott, and of course, Robert Breedlove in the closing, let me see, what do you want to call us, post-race ceremonies. All right. Let's see if I can get Mr. Elliott to send me some drivers to talk to here. Thank you very much, too, by the way, for to Gary Mingus for joining us there, telling us about that special car. So many great cars have been made in honor of Dale Earnhardt Sr. I was actually watching that race, and that was a very strange race. It was an awesome race, and a bad accident at the end that wasn't even really that bad. I woke up the next morning, and I remember my mom going, yeah, remember that race we were watching yesterday? Because we used to watch it as a family. Dale died. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Died from what? I've seen that guy roll cars 10 times and just walk away from every accident he was ever in. And somehow that one took him. He was fun to watch. Loading up my post. Let's see here. Let's get the final results. As you can see there, Robert Breedlove finishing in first place. He started in second, so he didn't really have to go that far, but you got to be there at the end, so that was pretty good. Jeffrey Elliott in second, Bobby Farrell in third, Keith Bynum, fourth place from 16th, Chris Elliott qualified 18th and finished in 5th. Gary Mingus qualified 25th, ended up in 6th position. Stephen Brandstetter, 7th. Alex Moe, Denny Carroll, Randy Waugh, Dan Level, Craig Hagley, qualified 14th, finished in 12th. Right around mid-pack, Bill Hemi Evans, Larry Wyndham, and Nate Balzer. And the rest of the drivers had to retire, but they do retain their finishing spots. Keep in mind, too, these are unofficial results. Gary Heiser, Brian Lovell, Tom Dixon, Bob Dixon, Mark Pagula, Billy Elliser, Greg Palmer, Pat Makarsky, and Randy Claflin. Why is that space blank? That's strange. There's an empty space there with no car number. Probably go back in the broadcast and see what that name was. It's weird. It would delete a name. Was it Greg? No, Greg's there. Weird. Well, we got to talk to Bobby. You send me Bobby whenever you want there, Jeff. Talking to Jeffrey Elliott, owner of the league.
Phone's up.
Hey, Bobby, what's happening? We meet again.
Yeah, this is twice real close together. I'm kind of liking this here.
Yeah, it's like we haven't got to talk to you in a little while, and today it's like you're all over the broadcast. So it's the Bobby Farrell show, finishing on the third place right on the podium there. So right places at the right time, race is over, and you qualified 17th and ended up in third. So definitely an awesome race for you.
Yeah, it was a good race. I'm not the best qualifier, so unfortunately started in the back there, but I've been running enough of these to know I need to bide my time and, wait towards the end and then go for it. And we went for it at the right time. Like I said a little while ago, was able to avoid all the wrecks and just didn't quite have enough push there at the end, but, still finished third. So I'm definitely happy with that. And we'll see what we can do next time.
Next time, yeah. We were watching the replay, and it was wild because it was Jeffrey was in first, and then Robert goes to pass him, pushed by Keith Bynum. So Keith Bynum's latched on to DEI and finished in fourth because you guys fanned out right. It was a wild finish, fanned out right across the track, and yeah, who knew you could finish in front of the guy pushing the leader? But that's what Talladega is: fast-paced, high speed, and tight.
Yeah, sometimes it works out. We had that restart, and right after we crossed the line, caution came out, so it was race back there, and I was trying to get a push. I thought Robert would go with me, but it didn't look like he was going with me, so I tried to go the inside and Jeffrey, and just didn't have it guys close enough to me, and Robert had Keith behind him pushing him, so he was able to just squeak out at the end, but we were in the right spot to just beat Keith there at the end and come home third.
That's the stuff, man. So yeah, like again, congratulations on the third place finish. Anybody you want to give shout outs to? We got a pile of viewers in this thing this evening, so somebody was probably rooting for you.
I don't know if anybody was watching tonight, but I'm sure I'll have a few people. I'll be sending this out to watch the replay. So, got to thank my painter that painted this Menards STP Ford Mustang, Jamie Baker. He's definitely makes me look good on the track. My mom and dad, Jeffrey for putting this on, and you, Blaine, for being hosting the broadcast. You guys do a good job, and I'll enjoy watching the replay myself when this is all over.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The game crashed on me a couple times, but hopefully it all came together at the end, and definitely, hopefully, we'll be doing it again in race number 3 with 2 weeks off. So, yeah, that car. Who is the painter again? I haven't heard that name before. Does he race?
He doesn't race currently. I've been trying to talk him into it. Me and him have been friends a long time. We met at a old website that unfortunately no longer exists, and we're both big time Petty fans, big time Adam Petty fans. So we connected, and he's been painting cars for me ever since. And sometimes I don't look good on track. Tonight I did, but with his paint jobs, I think I look good every night.
No, it definitely is an awesome paint scheme. So yeah, thanks for talking to us, and congratulations again on the third place finish, sir.
Well, thanks for having me up here, and unfortunately got to wait 2 weeks, but that's the holiday season, so I'll be itching to get back behind the wheel in a couple weeks. Right
on. We'll see you in the new year. Have a good holiday season.
Yep. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Fantastic. Hey, Jeffrey, can you get me Jeffrey?
Jeffrey is here. Jeffrey is
no longer available.
Jeffrey. Hey, Blaine, what a crazy finish, I must say.
Well, I just wanted to say thanks for racing the white car today, because that green one is absolutely hideous.
Well, I definitely didn't want to make you sick or disturb the muffin, so I figured I'd back down to the white car. But first, I like to start off thinking, we don't like to end them under caution, or have any cautions, but it's Talladega, and you have great races, and last night's truck race was amazing, and tonight it's an average race, but we had a good long run there, started way in the back, and I want to congratulate Bobby Farrell, man, for hanging in there. I was working with Steven. He's one of my boys now, and I got some other guys I'm working with now, ready for them RTG guys whenever show back up here, and or the levels. But yeah, what a great finish. Trying to work together with them, and it just kind of fanned out. I got squeezed in the middle. It was tight, and Farrell is tough. And congratulations, Farrell, for third place, man. and obviously DEI for winning this on the outside. He had to do what he had to do. That's one of my boys. But hey, man, I talked him in. Hurry up the wedding that he was at so he can make tonight's race.
Oh, no way.
I swear, Robert, you know this? He's like, Jeffrey, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. I said, all right, buddy, I'm going to hold you to it. And he made it and he wins tonight. Congratulations, buddy. So
that's fantastic. He's busy at a wedding and he just, sorry guys, I got to go. I got to go play some NASCAR 2003.
This is the second week in a row. I think he was at a wedding or maybe the weekend before, but he made both of them because I really pumped it into him all day. You know me. I keep pushing, and he made it, man. So congratulations. I'm so happy.
So that finish was great. I got to say, even though it ended under yellow with a race back condition, it's definitely a lot of fun to just see that, knowing like, okay, yellow's out now, it's going to be over, and it was basically a full lap, and then you're leading this thing into the tri-oval, and then all of a sudden you're in second. But I mean, second's better than nothing. You can't shake that off. Like, obviously a win would have been nice, but wild finish, 3 wide across the stripe, and we'll be coming back in 2023, the 20th year of this game, the simulator. I can't believe it. Can you believe it?
I did retire for 4 or 5 years ago. I think we all did for a while. Maybe at different times, but I never thought I'd still be doing this today at the age 53. And you know what? A lot of us are still hanging in there. So it's enjoyable. It's fun. It's frustrating, but it's emotional. But we all keep coming out to Talladega for a reason. I don't know what it is, but it's people love it or hate it, man. But
well, that's what it is. They want that 3 wide, cluster at the end going over that line, grabbing that checker flag. That's why we do it.
You're absolutely right. It's a thrill. It's running 3 wide like Blue Angels, like last night's Truck Series guys. And I'm going to pump up my series guys. I'm part ownership out here.
Definitely do that. And then,
Fast and Furious series on Friday nights had about actually a little bit more, I think about the same amount of drivers. So it's growing. Maybe we're looking to do some TV races over there eventually. But what a great series that's becoming. Great painter for, I think that guy name is Blaine Donlin. I don't know. He paints killer stuff. But, that's really a great series on Friday nights. It's Mondays is just a chill, Back to the Future. We're averaging over 20, driving the hardest stuff you can imagine. But we are switching that Blaine to 2X and a setup that's a little bit easier to drive for most drivers. It's tough. But anyways, all 3 are great, and I'm having a blast doing it for these guys.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, definitely. But yeah, congratulations on the second place finish. You might as well grab Mr. Breedlove and pull him down here.
I'll be glad to do that. And thanks for your time tonight, my friend, and part of the
Always
family.
Fun. Mr. Robert DEI Breedlove, how you doing, man? Congratulations on that win. Holy moly.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we were watching that thing. Obviously it ended under yellow, but that whoops. Just give me a second. Okay. Yeah, that thing was definitely exciting, and you got a lot of help from Bynum.
Oh, yeah. I was going to go with Jeffrey, and then I decided that I'm going to go around Jeffrey and just saw Bynum on the outside and just took it.
Yeah, he was pushing you all the way, and we were watching the replay in slow motion how Bynum pushed you to the win. So he's latched on to the winner, but he ended up in 4th.
It was a definitely interesting race, though.
Yeah, so like your pitch strategies, anything funny you did tonight, or just the same old Talladega game, just kind of right place, right time?
I think it was more the right place at the right time because I pitted once and got a black flag for speeding, so I had to start at the end and work my way back up through it. So it took a little bit.
Yeah, it was definitely fun watching. Is there anybody out there that you want to give shout outs to? The car painters, friends, family, sponsors?
I just want to thank Jeffrey and them guys for putting this on, because without them, we wouldn't be doing this every Friday, Saturday, and Monday. So hats off to those guys for doing this.
Definitely a lot of fun. Hey, Jeff, you still here?
I just returned.
Oh, well, there you go. Anything you want to say to Rob?
Sorry, Jeffrey, I had to take that win.
You're one of my, you know how we got a couple of sets of boys out here, teams, and we talked about earlier this week with Steven and well, we don't want to tell our secrets and other secret weapons, but hey, I'm so glad, happy for you, man. Well deserving. You took the outside. You had a little bit of help. We raced clean, and the three of us crossed that line pretty darn even, and along with Keith. Great job, Keith, for fourth. I believe he got fourth. So, man, congratulations to all you guys hanging in there, getting through the wrecks. Hey, that's part of it, right? But congratulations, man. I'm happy for you.
I appreciate it. It was really close at the end. I don't know what the final thing said, but it was all three of us were pretty close.
Hey, I'm sure you got like a tuxedo on, the thing around your, what do you call it, the garter? I mean, you just got back from the wedding, didn't you?
Yeah, I just got back. Well, we got home about 7 o'clock or so.
Yeah, I mentioned that a little bit on the live broadcast, but you know, I was pushing you all day, and I was like, you're like, I'm going to be there, Jeffrey. I'm going to be there. And look, you get a victory. Good job.
Well, I got a shout out to my wife, I guess, because she said she wanted to leave early. So there you go.
Awesome.
There you go. Shout out to the wife. I didn't get a shout out, and I want to shout this out to one person besides Papa Ed, which we did last week. Papa Ed, how you doing? I want to shout out to my nephews and shout out to my brother Chris Elliott. I love you, man. Without you, we could not do this. And all my admins, Bob Dixon, Tom Dixon, and Ken Roberts couldn't make it tonight. But hey, thanks to all my staff. Thanks to Blaine.
And thanks to Robert Breedlove for winning that race, because it made it very, very exciting. So yeah, thanks again, Robert, for joining us up here, and congratulations. And we'll see you in 2023. Have a happy holiday, Christmas, and whatever else you got to do. Stay safe, be cool. We'll see you.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas,
Thanks,
everybody. All right, Blaine, I will see you after the...
Yeah, man. He cut himself off. But that's totally fine.
Hey, don't party too hard. Have a great New Year and a Christmas, bud.
Right on, guys. Thanks again, and we'll see you in 2023. I'll wrap this thing up. Go watch it. I promise it's good.
10-4. Thanks, buddy. Happy New Year.
Hey, now. So there it is, Talladega Nights presentation of race number 2 of the Shake and Bake series. Fantastic finish, as always. Yes, it ended under yellow, but because it's a race back condition, it's always fun to watch that sprint to the end. Robert Breedlove into the 9-3-1, taking the Grand Champion trophy of the day and winning that race in a glorious fashion. So, and burning the wheels right off that car. That's always fun to see too. But anyway, we will end the broadcast here. And like I said last time, the broadcast will resume in the new year, 2023, when we come back in 3 weeks. And we rejoin the Shake and Bake series. Race number 3, January 7th, 2023. Tarnation TV is the name of this YouTube channel. So if you want to do stuff that you do on YouTube, like clicking the thumb bell and prescribing to the channel, let it rip. We love you a long time for that. Thanks again for watching. If you want more information about Talladega Nights in the descriptable below, you can click on their website link, which will take you through their website location, and you can do website things. They have 3 different series. The one you just watched today is known as the Shake and Bake. Friday nights, they do the Truck Series, the Fast and Furious Truck Series, and on Monday, they do the Back to the Future Series. And of course, there's other days where they just randomly practice, tweak setups, and do all their other fun things. So that's a lot of fun hanging out with these guys, broadcasting these races. I hope you had fun watching the races. And as always, we play some tunes at the end of this thing because I said so. And it's people I know, so I don't get hit with broadcasting copywriting claims, because it's music that is created by the talented friends of mine. I happen to know the drummer in this band I'm going to play today, Polarity. I've known Julian for a long, long time. And hey, man, these guys are fantastic. I'm going to play a song from Polarity called Destruction of Memory. This was actually recorded live off the floor at your Casa studio here in Ontario, Canada. And you can be, man, that sounds too good to be live. No, it's live. They recorded it in a live soundstage, live little set they did, and it sounds absolutely phenomenal. My buddy Julian on the drums, swatting the buckets, whatever you want to call it. He's good, and he's surrounded by phenomenal bandmates, and we got to see these guys live, and they were just absolutely amazing live. So yeah, support your own local music. They don't need to be signed to gigantic record labels to be awesome. There's a lot of stuff, and I urge you, find the good stuff, dig deep, rock hard. It's out there. It's amazing. I'm a heavy metal fan, so sorry if you don't like it. This band, again, is called Polarity. Always remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Have a happy holiday season. Yule, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. I know there's a lot more. Stay safe, be awesome, and keep your stick on the ice.